Hello from London. I'm speaking to you from just a few yards away from the Thames, where I am having concluded a very, very busy day with a conference along with the Future Trends Forum session. I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts about what I've been seeing here at this conference. So this is a conference for study abroad and international internships. So it's focused on getting college students and university students working abroad or studying abroad. A lot of them come from the United States and head to other countries, but also this handles people from other countries going to other countries, including the United States. I was asked to give a really short, as in 15-minute talk about the potential impacts of climate change on this whole field. And really quickly, that's what I did. So I quickly introduced the topic of climate change. I talked about how it might impact higher education, and then brought up a few different options for study abroad. One was the possibility of re-localizing study abroad or re-regionalizing it. That is, focusing study abroad travel on places that can be reached by low-carbon transportation mechanisms, such as train or boat. Second possibility was shifting to more virtual study abroad and virtual internships. We already have a lot of practices and best practices for doing that, but we should probably see them expand as virtual reality and then extended reality begins to grow. A third possibility, and this is the one that I really focused on, was asking people to rethink the programs of study abroad with a focus on climate change. So on the one hand, we could see people who are going abroad and they are studying climate in some foreign location. So they might, for example, go to Holland or to New York City in order to study how those areas are building up defenses against rising sea levels. They might go to, say, Australia or to North Africa to meet with hosts who are looking at how to fight against desertification. They might go to an industrial area to look at decarbonization and electrification in extensive detail. And again, all of these hosts could be other universities, but they could also be cities or nonprofits or government locations and so on. Now, one side or another twist on that would be to have someone go abroad with a non-climate purpose. So the example I often give is me going to, say, Madrid or Mexico City in order to really deepen my paltry knowledge of Spanish, and also to do so by immersion in either Mexican or Spanish culture. But to do so with an eye on climate change. So such a student could be prepared by climate classes or climate material in other classes, and prepare to pay attention to how the locals, wherever they go, are addressing climate, to take a look at the politics, to take a look at how people literally speak about it, to look at other aspects of culture, and so on. So I think these are, in the present and the short-term future, these are some of the options. I asked them to keep in mind the future possibilities, one being that we might figure out a way to decarbonize air travel. That is, if we have a return to air dirigibles and blimps, or if we manage to crack the code on low-carbon fuel or electric batteries for air power and so on. So all of this is what I was talking about. And then almost nobody mentioned climate change, but when I did mention it, they were very, very interested and engaged, especially the younger people. A few other topics came up. There were some interesting pedagogical arguments about trying to figure out how to shift a kind of lecture class plus a professional internship into something that was actually synthetic, that combined theory and practice. There is a bit of discussion about how to broaden the appeal of study abroad. Currently in the U.S., most of the students who go abroad tend to be higher up in the socioeconomic scale. They tend to be women much more than men, and they also tend to come from the humanities and not so much from STEM. There was also some really interesting discussion about how to best handle internships. There are all kinds of details about this, everything from visas to how to structure work and how to support students. So overall, I found this a very, very useful event. There was quite a diversity of people. That is, we had people from multiple nations. We also had people from universities, as well as companies, as well as nonprofits, as well as governments. So it was a good learning experience. I've got one more day left, and then a flight back to Washington, D.C. Well, that's it for this vlog. I hope everybody is well. I'll see you in the next one, or see you in the comments. Bye-bye.